as social climbers play your games. Meet the man that works the clock from 9 to 5 each day. Though you sign my paychecks, buddy, you ain't no mystic sage. Your signature ain't worth the ink you leave upon the page. But you will not ignore me, I'll meet you in the morning. I think it's time you had a look at the other side of life. Can't you see the warnings? We're heading towards the morning.
All right, well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Glacier Bay, Alaska for the latest installment of the adventures of myself and my trusty steed, November 572 Echo Foxtrot. He's a 1976 Cessna 185 with a turbo-normalized engine and several other modifications, courtesy of me. As you can see, it's a bad day up here. Thunderstorms. So we are going to fly very carefully. So we're going to depart Wood Lake Research Station here. We basically just dropped off a group that do things at the research station here. Okay, anyway, sorry about that. Let me make sure that my mic is working again. It is indeed. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. No one's watching yet, so it doesn't, it's not a huge deal, but anyway, so, I think this Wood Lake Research Station thing is dubious at best. We don't know what exactly it is they're researching here. But we fly people and supplies between here and Gustavus quite a bit. So the next thing that I am going to do is tentatively, weather permitting. Looks like it's going to be okay, but we're going to fly from here direct to Haines, pick up 3 people, and fly back to Gustavus. So let's go ahead and get underway because I don't think the weather is necessarily going to get any better. So let's go ahead and jump on in, and we're going to do a very abbreviated, very quick start. Alright, so battery is on, got mixture in, avionics on just for a moment to make sure that gas is flowing. So throttle's in full, turn that on until we got positive rate of fueling. Pulling the throttle back out, give us about an inch worth of throttle. Rotating beacon is on. Open the window here. Yellow clear prop. Alright, there we go. We're going to go ahead and let the engine warm up. I'll turn the alternator on. Nav lights on. Alright, we're going to go ahead and put pitot heat on because it is under 40 degrees Fahrenheit and we do have rain. Alright, so let's go ahead and set. Direct to Haines. Oh, hello, Nori. My cat's in the cockpit now. Maybe you can hear him. Alright, so 52 nautical miles. Our bearing is going to be 5 degrees. Okay, so let's go ahead and set our heading bug to 5 degrees. Come on. 5 degrees. We'll go ahead and set our course bug to 5 degrees. Really easy to overshoot that. Okay, let's go ahead and go into bearing pointers, edit. So this one is going to be GPS heading. Alright. Alright, we are good to go. Okay, turn taxi light on. Set trim for takeoff. And we're very light right now, so this is not going to be a white knuckle takeoff, I don't think. Alright, so weather report says that the wind is coming from heading 243. Basically right over here. Alright, yeah, so we're gonna... Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and taxi us on out. Alright, so we are going... Oh, wow. That was a big lightning. Big lightning bolt. This is exciting. Shut the window because it's cold. Alright, we're going to depart straight out this way. We'll round the bend here and... Oh, let me shut the fresh air vents. Alright, give us 2 notches of flap. Like I said, we're light, so this should be a fairly easy takeoff roll. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and...
November 902, 906 is 11 miles west inbound, visual, runway 8.
Set parking brake and do the run up. Alright, so I'm going to run this up to 1700 RPM. Okay, do the mag check.
Papa Alpha Hotel, November traffic, Cessna, November 809.
Prop check.
Clear of the runway.
Alright, good to go. Alright, cowl flaps are open. Mixture and prop are set for takeoff. Alright, full throttle, here we go. That wind is nasty. That was worse than I expected. Alright, flaps up. Yeah, this is nasty. Okay, I gotta stay out of these clouds. The turbulence is quite bad. Quite bad.
Hotel November, traffic, line November, Niner 2, Niner 6 is 4 miles west inbound, visual, runway 8.
But we are okay. Yeah, once we get past these clouds here, looks like it's clear up ahead, or clearer. So, yeah, this will be fine. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and set the mixture to auto rich. Alright, I'm gonna trim us down just a little. The weather just updated, so that cloud just appeared out of nowhere. This is real world weather, by the way. Got a program that interfaces with my simulator that actually inputs current weather for wherever it is that you're flying. So this is the real deal.
Alpha Hotel, November. Traffic, morning, November, Niner 2, Niner 6 is 2 miles west inbound. Visual, runway 8.
Alright, yeah, so we're just gonna pop over these mountains here at 5,500 feet. Okay, whew, I think we're above the worst of it. Yeah, I think we're okay. Okay. We'll go ahead and level us out at 5,500 feet here. There are definitely clouds over there. I'll reassess the situation as we get closer. All right, I'm gonna set us up for 65% cruise. That's gonna be 2,400 RPM.
Traffic, November, Niner 2, Niner 6, flying to left approach.
And 13.5 gallons per hour. Alright, there's 65% power. Alright, well that was wild. So, anyway, well, welcome to 5,500 feet above Glacier Bay, Alaska. To those of you who don't know me, I'm Nick Strait, and I am a musician who loves video games and airplanes. Used to fly for real. I don't anymore, so this is how I fly. This is how I have been flying for quite a while. And I really enjoy all kinds of flight simulation. I do a little bit of everything. Right now I'm kind of doing this role play as an Alaskan bush pilot. Having a lot of fun with 2 Echo Bravo here. This airplane fits me like a glove, I like to say. Yeah, 2 Echo Foxtrot and we just click. We're good friends, we work well together. Okay, we're pretty smooth. I'm gonna go ahead and engage the autopilot. We're heading hold and altitude hold. We'll take a look outside at our beautiful beast. Alright, so this is 2 Echo Foxtrot, like I mentioned before. It's a 1976 Cessna 185, an F model, of course. I've got him outfitted for bush operations. We've got 29-inch Goodyear Tundra tires and the cargo pack, which can hold about 300 pounds of additional cargo outside of the cabin, so you got more room for people. Good things to have when you're flying out in the bush, but as with anything, there's a trade-off. The larger wheels and the cargo pack do significantly add drag, so the airplane doesn't cruise quite as quickly as it does stock. But to make up for that, the stock Continental IO520 engine has been modified to, I have a new situation here. The weather updated again, and we've got clouds and snow, which means we have ice. Which means we can climb. Turn the autopilot off. And climbing is great into Echo Foxtrot. This actually becomes a nice segue because, as I was saying, the Continental IO 520, I've had it turbo normalized so we can hold sea level manifold pressure up to about 18,000 feet. So that means the higher we fly, the faster we can go. We don't lose manifold pressure as we climb. Well, not until we hit 18,000 feet anyway. You know, the way that you do in a normally aspirated piston engine aircraft. So power output is still the same, maximum of 300 horsepower, but I can make 300 horsepower all the way up to 18,000 feet, which is very handy. So you're really not any faster at low altitude because you gotta climb up high to really take advantage of the turbocharger. Alright, so we're going to pop up to 7,500 feet, stay out of these clouds. Keeping an eye on the cylinder head temperature because we're at full throttle again with the cowl flaps closed. We don't want it to go, we don't want cylinder head temperature to go go over 380, so I'm keeping an eye on it. And I'm not climbing vertical speed-wise quite as fast as I normally would because I want to carry the extra airspeed to keep the temperature a little bit lower. Alright, I'll go ahead and level us out at 7,500 feet here. And 13.5 inches of manifold pressure. Alright, I'm going to go ahead, set the altitude and heading holds again. Okay, I'm going to nearest airport list. Let's see here. Okay, on my phone I'm going to check the weather at Haines really quick. Pull up my airport guide. Crab us into the wind a little bit more. I have a Bendix King KEP 142 axis autopilot, just in case you were wondering what I'm using. Airports. Hey, Canadian Fox, how are you? You just missed quite the takeoff and climb. Snowy thunderstorms. It was pretty epic. How are you doing today? Alright. Chill Sunday before work tomorrow. I'm doing okay. It's been, what am I trying to say? It's been a little bit of a hairy flight so far. Sorry, I'm checking the weather at my destination on my phone right now, because I use real-world weather, of course. Let's see, so conditions at Haines or IFR, so yeah, we're not going to be able to get in. Unfortunately, it's socked in too bad, so I'm going to have to divert back to Gustavus probably. But that's par for the course for flying up here this time of year. Let's see if Gustavus is still VFR. Yeah, Gustavus is still VFR, so I'm going to go ahead and divert. VFR and IFR, what that means is, let me mute that really quick. I don't need to listen to them. IFR, which is what I say, what our original destination, Haines, Alaska, is what's called IFR. That means instrument flight rules. That means that the weather is, it's below a certain minimum tolerance so that you can't fly in visually. You have to fly in on instruments, which I'm instrument rated, of course, but I'm not on an IFR flight plan, so it's actually, it is not legal to do so. So I'm looking at Gustavus, Alaska, which is my normal base, and the weather there is VFR right now, and that stands for Visual Flight Rules, so that means that we can get in there visually. So I'm going to go ahead and plot a course back to Gustavus, and we'll have to try to get up to Haines another time, but that's okay. So, alright, let me... Okay, so Papa Alpha, Golf Sierra. Okay, so yeah, we're just 13 minutes out from there. Bearing is 150. Alright, I'm going to disengage the autopilot. Fair warning, loud beep. I don't know if that was enough of a fair warning, but anyway, so here we go. I'm going to go ahead and turn us back to Gustavus. So did you have a nice, relaxing weekend? Nice, good deal. Those are good weekends. Yeah, so Davina bought the first tree on her Switch, and she's been playing that. She seems to really be enjoying it. It's awesome. It goes with the weather here, because they're up in Alaska as well. Yeah, she got it and she's really enjoying it. How does the balance seem between the engine and my voice, by the way, if you don't mind? Engine is quiet enough that I can hear. Cool. Yeah, hopefully it's a pretty realistic balance. I don't know how much time you spent in a small aircraft like this, but they're extremely loud. It's much louder being in one of these than it is being on like a jet airliner because they're way better soundproofed. So you actually wear a noise protecting headset that's got the headphones and microphone built into it. Boy, it is socked in. I don't know where we're going to drop through at, but that's part of the fun, huh? What are we making over the ground here? 116 over the ground. So anyway, since I can't see where I'm going because of the clouds, this is what we call VFR on top. So that means I am on top of IFR weather in visual flight conditions. So I'm still navigating using instruments because I can't see the ground. So I'm using primarily my moving that GPS at this point. That pink line right there represents where we're flying to. So if I zoom out, you can see that we're heading to Gustavus, just right at the end of this peninsula here. And then I've got that information reflected on my electronic HSI. That stands for Horizontal Situation Indicator. This is an electronic version. This is a new piece of equipment made by a company called Garmin. I love this thing. It's completely glass. It's touch screen, which is super cool. It's got a dial to get you into the menus, but then once you're in there, you know, you can actually tap the screen for your different settings and whatnot. But what I've got this set up for right now is, okay, so this pink line right here, this represents the pink line on here. Okay, and this part in the middle, right there, that's not in line, that shows how far I am off of that line. So it's over here, so I'm kind of cocked into the wind towards it. So eventually we'll line back up with that. I've also got this set to display direct bearing to my GPS waypoint, which is denoted by that little blue arrow right there. And then this right here, that is our waypoint. So that's the identifier for Gustavus Airport, Papa Alpha Golf Sierra. And then that tells us how far away we are from it in nautical miles. So we're at 7,500 feet right now. Burning about 13.5 gallons per hour. And if you look at the airspeed indicator, you'll show that it's indicating 135 miles an hour. So that's what's called indicated airspeed. That shows, what's the best way to explain it? Shows you how fast the aircraft thinks that it is moving through the air. Because as the air gets more thin as you gain altitude, this will actually start to show lower and lower speeds. Even though you're still traveling at the same speed forward, since there's less air to get into. Actually, you can see right there, that metal thing right there, that's the pitot tube. That is a ram air pressure device. So there's a hole in the tip of that, and as you move forward, the air pushes a little in, kind of a little, what do I want to say? What is the word? I can't think of what it is. Anyway, this measures how fast the air is entering that tube, and then it outputs that to the airspeed indicator. So that's how you know how fast you are moving through the air. And knowing your actual true airspeed, how fast you're actually going, it doesn't really matter all that much, because the airplane will behave the same way at an indicated airspeed, no matter how fast you're actually moving. I don't know if that makes any sense. It's kind of brain-breaking. It takes a while to understand the relation between your actual forward speed, which is your true airspeed, and your indicated airspeed. Your indicated airspeed is almost always going to be slower. But what I was trying to get around to saying is also we have to figure in wind. And we have a bit of a headwind right now, so our speed over the ground is actually even slower than that. So your ground speed is how fast you're actually moving over the ground. So if we look down at the GPS, this is giving us about 116 knots ground speed. So just, if you're curious as to what it is that I'm looking at. I'm going to go ahead. Well, no, I'm not going to descend yet. I'm not going to descend yet because I can't see a place to descend through. When you're flying VFR, even if you have, because see, I can see the mountains and the terrain on my GPS here. So, even if you have an electronic device that shows you what's around you and what's under you, when you are flying VFR, you are not to ever move through a cloud. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly around here. I'm going to look for a hole in the clouds, and I'm going to dip down through that. I don't know, this might be all way too much information, but I'm an airplane nerd. Okay, so, let's see, I'm going to get Gustavus automated weather here.
Papa Alpha Golf Sierra automated weather observation 1944 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility 6 in no. Sky condition few clouds at 1,000. Feeling 1,800. Broken. Temperature 2 Celsius. Dew point 2 Celsius. Altimeter 2959er.
2959er.
Sierra automated weather observation.
Okay, so it's barely VFR down there.
Visibility 6 in no. Sky condition few clouds at 1,000. Feeling 1,800. Broken. Temperature 2 Celsius. Dew point 2 Celsius. Altimeter 2959er. Papa Alpha Golf Sierra automated weather.
And it'll just keep repeating this.
1944 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility 6 in no. Sky condition few.
Okay, so there's no wind down there, so the normal active runway to use is runway 29er. So I'm going to go ahead and monitor the traffic frequency at Gustavus for a couple minutes here and make sure that everybody is using that same runway. Gustavus has an uncontrolled airport, so pilots are all kind of like on their honor to communicate with each other what their intentions are and what they're doing to keep each other from running into one another. So I might have to go all the way out to the end of the bay and dip under the clouds and then scud run back in. So we'll see what happens. Am I still streaming? I appear to still be streaming. Because I'm not seeing a break in the clouds anywhere else. And it sounds like the weather's getting worse at Gustavus.
Papa Alpha Golf Sierra, traffic Douglas, November 54514, taking off, runway 11, departure to the east.
Okay, so it sounds like they're actually using runway 11 down there. So that's not what I was expecting, but whatever. Now, if worse comes to worse, and the weather does get too bad to get into Gustavus, Juneau is not far from here, and I could shoot an emergency instrument approach into Juneau. But hopefully it doesn't come to that. It looks, if you look out ahead there, it looks like there might be some breaks in the clouds that I could get down through. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start setting myself up. So I'm going to engage the autopilot to reduce my workload for a couple of minutes. Alright, so I'm going to set this up. To point at runway 11 for me. So that when the time comes, I've got something pointed where I need it to be. Go ahead and so are you going to stream it all today, Fox?
Papa Alpha Golf Sierra traffic. Cessna November 51440 taking off runway 11 east departure.
Gonna start Resident Evil 2 tomorrow. Cool. It's gonna be scary. I haven't played any of those games, but I don't think I have the constitution for it. You're braver than I. That's the spirit. Get a sip of coffee here. Okay, I'm in good shape. There's the clouds end, and I'll dip down under them. I'm gonna go ahead and start a descent now, actually. Okay, loud beep again. Alright, and to start a descent, we don't actually point the nose down, we actually pull the power out and let the plane start to descend on its own. And that will keep us at the same relative airspeed, because gravity will make up for the lost forward momentum. And the weather report that we just listened to said that the cloud ceiling is only 1,000 feet, so we are going to be scud running back to the airport. Go ahead and give us maybe 17 inches of manifold pressure. That feels better. All right, so there's the airport. We're basically right on top of it. So I'm going to come out here and we're going to kind of swing around this island and come back in and fly the pattern. Alright, so I'm going to take us out of GPS mode. Well, I'm going to leave us in GPS mode for just a little while longer, because I can't really see the ground. So it's nice to just have that little arrow. So you can see this arrow is moving now. So that's tracking the airport. So you can see that we're flying past the airport right now. So that will always point at the airport. So I'll be able to use that to keep us oriented pretty well. I love the clouds. I have a very distinct, very good memory when I was flying for real. One of the flight instructors at the flight school that I worked at the time, his name was Ralph. He was a demo pilot for a company called Diamond. They're quite famous now. They make all kinds of amazing composite built light aircraft. But they were new and fancy at the time, and we were flying a model called the Star, so the Diamond Star. And we flew from our base in Vacaville, California, across San Francisco Bay, down the coast to Watsonville, California. And he had me come along on the demo flight because he was gonna demo the plane to a customer. But when he would do that and I was around, and if I didn't have to work at the time, he would usually enlist me to come fly the plane. Because I flew a lot with friends, but they weren't certified flight instructors, so I couldn't log that time. So it was cool that Ralph would do that for me because he was a CFI, so he would totally let me fly, and I would get to actually log that time. But anyway, like I was saying, when we went down there, it wasn't, the weather was really nice. When we left, the clouds were just starting to come in. And I was a little nervous about that. But Ralph said not to worry because he was IFR certified, of course, at the time. We weren't on an IFR flight plan, but he said there's one little wispy cloud. There's just one little wispy cloud in our departure path. And I was talking about going around it, and he said, "Nah, don't worry. Just go through it." So I got to fly through a cloud. It was a little cloud. It was only like 5 seconds, but it blew my mind. It was amazing to be in control of a craft and punching through a cloud. It was very amazing. Good memories. That was a long time ago.
Alpha Golf Sierra, traffic Cessna, November 96272, 10 miles northwest inbound visual, runway 11.
Yeah, I love airplanes. It's in my blood. My grandfather was a pilot. in World War II and Korea, and he was a flight instructor during the Vietnam conflict for the Air Force. He was done flying completely by the time I was old enough to start taking lessons. He was already well into his 70s by then, so he had completely retired from flying, but I got my love of aircraft from him. He started taking me to air shows when I was 2 years old, and I've been addicted ever since, and I always knew that I would fly. And I did get to fly for real for a long time, but extenuating circumstances, I had to stop. Maybe I will be able to do it for real again at some point, but you know, since then I've got thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of sim time. And this simulator that I use, Flight Simulator 2004, I do believe in my heart this is as close as you can get to flying a real aircraft without actually doing it. There's lots of flight simulators that have come out since this one. I mean, this one's 16 years old. I mean, you can tell the graphics aren't ultra modern or anything like that. But the way it feels to fly, the way the weather is, just the whole dynamics and the feeling of it is so much more real than anything else that I've ever used. Even if it looks all glitzy and glamorous and everything, I've just found that this seems to be what feels the best. On Twitch the other night, I found a guy online he's an actual airline pilot, and he was demoing the new Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Looks absolutely phenomenal. Jaw-droppingly beautiful. I mean, it looks real. But even he agreed with me when I brought that up that FS 2004 just still feels more real. I don't know what it is about it, but I feel like this is the pilot's simulator. All right, so and I do a lot of the programming of these aircraft myself. I don't do any of the 3D modeling, but I highly customize all of my aircraft. I actually get into
Golf Sierra, traffic, November 47166, 10 miles northwest inbound, visual, runway 11.
I get into all of the configuration coding, and I get the actual technical manuals for the aircraft and things like that, and I really have at it, and I really tweak these things for an extra level of realism. And then I customize the so much traffic.
Northwest inbound, visual, runway 11.
Okay, I'm officially in the pattern now, so I should be a good chap. And we're on downwind. Gustavus traffic, Cessna 2 Echo Foxtrot is on downwind to land, runway 11, full stop. Alright, and I'm going to level us off at 1,000 feet here. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I customize the cockpits with my own avionics and stuff. So I've got all the type of instrumentation that I want to use. But it's all real stuff. All my stuff is real. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and advance the prop back to 2700 RPM. In preparation for landing. Alright, I'm going to level us at 1,000 feet and let us slow down. Carry about 16 inches of manifold pressure. It's a little bumpy down here close to the ground right now, but it's not bad.
Papa Alpha Golf Sierra, traffic Viper, November 47166, 6 miles northwest inbound, visual, runway.
All right.
1.
Here's 120 miles an hour.
Papa Alpha Golf Sierra, traffic Cessna, November 96272, 2 miles northwest inbound, visual, runway 11.
All right, and there's 110 miles an hour. I'm gonna fly like an extended downwind. Check GPS again, 5 nautical miles out. Alright, I'm gonna hold us at 110 miles an hour. CHT is going up, so I'm gonna go ahead and open the cowl flaps. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and gumps. Mixture full rich, prop is set. Landing lights on, taxi lights on. Autopilot's disengaged, obviously, because I'm flying the plane. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put out the first notch of flaps. There's 10 degrees.
Papa Alpha Golf Sierra, traffic Viper, November 47166, 4 miles northwest inbound, visual, runway 11.
There's 100 miles an hour. So I'm going to go ahead and hold us at this speed. Okay, and we're out far enough. I'm going to go ahead and... Gustavus traffic, Cessna 2 Echo Foxtrot is turning base. Runway 11, full stop landing. Alright, so let's see. Alright. Gustavus traffic, Cessna 2 Echo Foxtrot is turning base to final, runway 11, full stop. That was a very extended downwind. Alright, I'm going to sit up so I can see where we're going. What? Where is he? Said 2 miles?
Papa Alpha Golf Sierra, traffic Viper November 47166, flying the missed approach.
Okay, he's going missed.
Papa Alpha Golf Sierra, traffic Cessna November 96272 is clear of the runway.
Alright, 100 miles an hour. I'm gonna go ahead and put out my second notch of flaps, so flaps 20. Alright, am I gonna do a wheel landing or a 3-pointer? I don't know.
Papa Alpha Golf Sierra.
I know I need practice on those wheel landings.
Taking up runway 11, departure to the north.
Alright, and we're down to 90 miles an hour. Let's see, it's 37 Fahrenheit plus 2 Celsius. So pitot heat is still on. Yeah, good. Alright. Another sip of coffee. Alright, so we're going to be fine here as long as nobody taxis onto that runway. That's the only thing I hate about the way that this airport is set up, is the taxiway intersects in the very middle of the runway. So instead of being able to just taxi to the end of the runway while not on the runway, you have to enter the runway and then taxi back to the end that you're going to take off from. So you're clogging up the runway for other people for a long time. Alright, 90 miles an hour, we're gonna go flaps 3, so flaps 30. Woo! A little gust there. Okay, we're gonna stabilize at about 80 miles an hour. And then I'll go ahead and give us full flaps, 40 degrees. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and start our descent. We got a little bit of wind coming in from the right. You can see I'm kind of crabbed into the wind just a little bit. It's very slight. It's a very slight crosswind. Go ahead and go full flaps. Shoot for 70 miles an hour and pull the power back even more. Even more. I'm going to trim us for 70 miles an hour. Yeah, that should have us on a good glide path. We're really light right now. I'm going to trim us for 65 actually. It's always a little nerve-wracking landing on this end of the runway because of that tree right there. You know which one I'm talking about. See it? Alright. Alright, more power. Got a little too slow there for a second. I hate that tree. I hate landing on this end of this runway. Excuses, excuses. Whoa. We got a very glitchy bump there. Oh, so I gotta taxi all the way down the runway to the taxiway. Well, didn't make it to Haines, but at least we're alive. Unpredictable weather. This was not a great day for flying. The air is very unforgiving right now. Kind of demoralized. All right. All right, everyone. Well, I think this is going to be the end of my stream for right now. Sorry we didn't get up to Haines. That's kind of disappointing, but the weather can turn on you real quick up here. But anyway, so I'm Nick Strait. Thanks for flying with me today. I'm a musician that loves video games and airplanes, and I do a little bit of all of that stuff here on my Twitch channel. So if you liked what you saw today, whether you were watching live or if you're watching this as a rerun, go ahead and give me a follow. If you didn't like what you saw today, well, take a look at some of the other videos on my profile. I don't just do airplanes. I do music. I do other video games. Maybe you'll find something you like there. Also, follow the link to my YouTube channel as well. Later, Canadian Fox. Thanks for stopping by. Good flying with you. Looking forward to your Resident Evil 2 playthrough. We'll be we'll be there with bells on, shrieking along with you. Take care, and have a good day at work tomorrow. But anyway, as I was saying, head on over to my YouTube channel, subscribe to me there, and hit the notification bell so you get notified when I upload something new, which is quite often. I upload my streams to YouTube basically as soon as they're done. Because as we all know, Twitch doesn't hold on to our streams indefinitely, do they? But YouTube will. Alright. Hold on whilst I turn off my plane. That's all good. Back to standby. Avionics are off. Out. Alright. Good night, you big beautiful beast. I love this airplane. Alright, go ahead and turn off my taxi and landing lights, turn off my rotating beacon, turn off my alternator and my battery. Go ahead and get outside and look at him fondly. Anyway, so yeah, like I was saying, thanks for flying with me tonight, and I'll get on tomorrow or the next day, and I'll probably play some music for you guys. So anyway, until then, be careful out there, stay safe, wash your hands, wear a mask, and we'll see you next time. Love and peace to all of you.
Attention, all you high-class social climbers, play your game.